I'm Matthew Fischer. I'm the creator of Core Reprogramming, and I'll show you a quick little powerful exercise. This is called the Core Reprogramming Super Bridge. I've been using it for years, and it's a way to deeply activate your core. We're going to put a ton of neurological stimuli in the body, and in a way that's going to cause basically a forced reboot. It's like we're hacking into this amazing design within. Now, how do we check and assess the core? The way we're going to do today is we're going to actually assess hamstring length with a straight leg raise. When I take him up into a straight leg raise, when we get to there, it's not really going much farther. That's about 70 degrees. We're going to come back and recheck that. The reason why this relates to the core is when people's core is not firing correctly, other parts of the body will tend to compensate, and one of the key places is the hamstring. And the hamstring generates all kinds of neurological tension, and then it becomes tight. And that's one of the reasons why hamstring stretching alone often doesn't get to the root of it, and it's not particularly a great solution. This is going to be a better solution to get to the root cause of the tight hamstrings, but better yet, to get a better core activation. One quick rule, when you're doing this exercise, it should not cause any pain. If it causes pain, I would definitely consult your physical therapist or your doctor. The beauty of this is it doesn't really require much equipment at all. You're going to be needing just a little loop band. This is very thin TheraBand, tan in color, and a belt. Okay, so this whole exercise is about a 5-minute deal because I like people to do it on and off for about 30 to 45 seconds until they reach about 4 to 5 minutes. What we're going to do is we're going to put the belt on. Find a belt at home. Wider belts work a little bit better. This is just a regular belt. And you want to put it on so that the knees are just a little outside the hips when you go to do the exercise. As far as the feet, we want the feet to be hip width apart here, and they should be fairly close to the butt. In this case, about 6 to 8 inches. We don't want those feet getting out there too far because we'll end up using the hamstring, and we don't want to use the hamstring. We want to use the glutes. So what we do is we're going to be using this loop band, and this band cuts into the hand like this. It's not hooking around the thumb. This is my own concept to try to literally put pressure into this very high neurological zone of the hand. So Ian, go ahead and put that on, and let's have you take it around the back side. And he's going to loop it the same way on both sides. To do the exercise, we're going to go through the same steps. Every time you do this exercise, just go through the steps, and everything will turn out really well. Step number 1, we're going to go ahead and think about thoughts and intentions, okay? So we don't want to just go through the motions here. If you're in a negative funk in your day and you want to change that, you just got to change the meaning. You could say, this is going to make me a stronger person. You can change the meaning of it. You can also change your perspective. You could become aware of many things maybe that you're taking for granted, but you can change from a negative mindset to a positive mindset and you'll get more out of it. You want to have some intentions. You want to have a goal with the exercise. So try to link this to something that you want in the future, maybe even visualize something that you want in the future. So it starts with thoughts and intentions, set those. Step number 2 is we're going to breathe with the diaphragm, okay? The whole lower rib cage, because that's where the diaphragm attaches, the whole lower rib cage is going to expand out 360 degrees as he breathes in through the nose, 3 to 4 seconds, out through the mouth, usually kind of piercing the lips for 6 to 8 seconds. So it's a much longer exhale when you do this. So thoughts and intentions, and then you start tuning into the breathing. And we want that breath to be from the diaphragm. Step number 3, we're going to start drawing in the core, about 20%. We're going to take that zipper area and draw that in about 20%. We're going to kind of take this corset area of the abdominals and pull that in 20%. We're even going to pull in the pelvic floor, like you're stopping the flow of urine. It's also called Kegels and those kind of things. We're going to pull that in about 20% and hold that. When you do that, it's going to kind of flatten the back down to the floor or the mat a little bit. Okay, so thoughts and intentions, breathing, we're going to draw in the core. Want that core to flow up through the backside into the shoulder blades. We're going to pull those shoulder blades with those muscles in between the shoulder blades. We're going to pull them down in like we're pulling them into the back pockets. And we're going to hold that. That leaves the chest open. The chest opens up, and it brings the shoulders away from the ears. The next step is we're going to tuck the chin just a little bit to the chest. There's a core of the neck, the greater part of which is in the front. So by tucking the chin to the chest, we're going to activate that. We're trying to get everything to connect together. Next thing we're going to do is bring the arms into it. I'm going to have him really spread his fingers wide, spread just a little bit wider, and lightly push down his arms. Excellent. He's still thinking about his breathing, 3 to 4 seconds in through the nose, 6 to 8 seconds out through the pierced lips. He's now going to allow that core energy to flow into his glutes, okay, as he pushes out into the belt 3 to 4 pounds. And then the final thing we're going to do is allow that to flow right into the buttocks, into the glutes. As he drives his heels straight down, he's going to start to create some lift. His pelvis is going to come up off of the floor a little bit. It doesn't have to be a lot. You know, usually a couple of inches is enough. We're trying to kind of find the sweet spot where we're getting a maximal amount of core glute activation in the butt. He's going to continue to do his breathing. He's going to continue to scan through these things, you know, thoughts and intentions. He's going to keep the chin tucked. He's going to do the long exhales. At some point, maybe halfway through, it's good to keep those fingers spread wide, but rotate the palms out now and really get that to cut into that web space even more. Okay? Long exhales. Once you get to about 30 to 45 seconds, we're going to go ahead and slowly drop back down. And we're going to repeat this one more time. We're not going to do it for the full 5 minutes, but we're going to repeat it one more time and see what the effect is. Because what we're going to do, when you do this at home, try to do it for 30 to 45 seconds. Take about a 10-15 second break. Let everything shut off. And then do it again and keep going until you get about 5 minutes. Okay? And then you can walk around and see what changed in the body. There's pretty profound changes that happen. So step number one, we're going to, and by the way, Ian has never done this exercise. This literally is the first time he's ever done it. So I wanted to do that purposefully to show you, you know, on a rookie basically. Okay? So thoughts and intentions, checking in with that. Second thing, we're going to start to expand that lower rib cage, the whole thing 360 degrees. The breathing is 3 to 4 seconds in through the nose, 6 to 8 seconds out. We're going to start to draw in the zipper, the corset, the pelvic floor about 20% and lightly hold that. That lower back kind of flattens lightly against the floor. We're going to allow that now to flow up into these shoulder blades as we're pulling the shoulder blades down and in. Chest opens up, shoulders away from the ears. We're going to spread the fingers really wide. Even works better if you can tip your wrist back into extension a little bit. There you go. He's now going to go ahead and tuck the chin and push out into the belt 3 or 4 pounds. Drive straight down with those heels and create a little bit of lift. Find the right spot where the glutes feel like they're working the most. This is helping to shut off some fight or flight muscles deep in the hip flexors. He's doing the long exhales. He's kind of scanning. This is really important that you're in a receptive state when you're doing this. You're not trying to do something so much. You're not trusting so much on your efforts as this incredible design inside. So when you're doing this, imagine there's little sparkling streams of water flowing down all your nerves all the way to your brain, which is just like a sponge soaking it all up. The long exhales, just forget that you're working. Let's go ahead and rotate those hands out a little bit. Fingers spread wide, really cut into that. Let's take one more nice breath. And we'll let it all down. Great. And what I'm going to do now is take the belt off and we'll straighten the legs again. Now that's just doing that 2 times. We didn't in any way stretch the hamstrings when we did that. What we'll do now is we're going to take him back up into a straight leg raise. And we picked up very close to 15 degrees Just doing that exercise 2 times without stretching the hamstrings. Better yet, we've got this profound core activation. This works even better when you do it longer periods of time. I always recommend getting the 5 minutes in the first hour of your morning and the last 20 minutes before you get to bed. And people sleep much, much deeper when they release this neurological tension and activate their core before they go to sleep. So that is the Core Reprogramming Super Bridge. So we just got done doing the Core Reprogramming Super Bridge for the first time ever on Ian. We did that 2 times. We improved straight leg raise up to 85 degrees, almost to 90 to 85 degrees. We're now going to show some little boosters, some ways that I've come up with to help to create an even more profound effect if you want to throw these in, okay? So let's go ahead and, we'll go ahead and have you go on a soft roll now. Rather not be too hard of a roll, this is simply going to make his core fire as he's doing the super bridge. So we just get a better effect. We're still going to want to line up the feet, you know, about 6 to 8 inches from the butt. The heels are usually just in front of the knees, just a little bit, okay? So in this case, I don't really want his arms all the way down. So we're going to hook the loop band on the front of his body, okay? And I'm going to put this belt on for him. Pretty easy to do at home. And we're going to get that belt so that it is placing his knees just outside the hips when he pushes out. Okay, so we're all set up. So what are we going to do? We're going to go through the same things, and then I'm going to show you some little ampers that you can do, and then we're going to retest and see how much more range of motion we get. So first thing, again, thoughts and intentions. Tune into that. Make a change if you have to. Have a goal that you're linking this to. Then we draw in the breathe. We start to connect with that diaphragm breathing. Step number 2, 3 to 4 seconds in through the nose, 6 to 8 seconds out through the pierced lips. Then we're going to draw in the core, draw in the zipper, draw in the corset, draw in the pelvic floor, about 30 to 40%, or I'm sorry, about 20%, and flatten the low back, okay? We're now going to want to bring the shoulder blades into this. So we're going to draw those shoulder blades down and in and tuck the chin to the chest, just as we did before. We're going to try to do straight elbows with this. We can do bent elbows. We're going to try straight elbows. The chest is open. And what he's going to do first is he's just going to drive straight down a little bit. He's going to allow that core to flow into the glutes as he pushes out. And he is going to drive down with the heels to get a little bit of activation with the glutes. So he's going to create a little lift there, come up a little bit, okay, and hold that. Keep going with the breathing. I can't emphasize enough. The breathing is what seals this deep into the nervous system. We can't forget about the breathing. Long exhales. Some things that we can do to amp this up even further. Even before the exercise, you can tap on the neck with really tall posture and get those nerve endings in the neck. I'm going to do that for him. I'm also going to have him stick his tongue all the way down to his chin like he's Michael Jordan and try to raise his eyes as high as he can, spreading the two apart. I'm going to do the neck part for him. I'm going to tap into the neck a little bit. He's still thinking about 3 to 4 seconds in and 6 to 8 seconds out. And I'm not going very hard. I'm just trying to activate some things. So I'm just doing a quick but light tapping, okay? So that's good on that. Turning the head to the dominant side. This is something that John Imes, the physical therapist in San Diego, found has a profound effect on the nervous system. So we're going to do that to the dominant side. If you're left-handed, you go to the left, but it just can be 10, 20 degrees, and he's going to hold that. I'm going to have him bite his tongue, and on his exhales, he's going to hum on the exhale. Biting the tongue shuts off some more of this fight or flight circuitry. He's going to hum for 6 to 8 seconds on the way out. He's still thinking about breathing here. As he hums, that is helping to activate a branch of the vagus nerve that comes to the throat box, and so we're getting more stimulation of a very, very key nerve that comes out of the brainstem. I'm just going to turn his head just a little bit more. Keep that chin tucked. There you go. It's also a good thing to kind of be thinking as you go, you know, where do you want to be in 2 to 3 years? Keep that breathing going, 3 to 4 seconds in, 6 to 8 seconds out. He can spread his fingers wide and rotate out, cut into that. I like to start more with the palms either in or down and then rotate out into that and get that rotator cuff to work. We're going to do one more really good breath. Long exhale. And I'm going to have him go ahead and drop down. Okay? So you could do the same thing for 3 to 5 minutes on the soft roll. Go ahead and take this off. Usually when you come off of a roll like this, you would roll to the side onto the floor. In this case, we're just going to set him right up so we can get this out of the way. Excellent. And I'm going to have him lay back on his back. So just in that one little episode there, we're going to go ahead and see where we got there. So we definitely got over 90, getting close to 95 degrees, pretty close to a 10-degree additional increase in range of motion. Remember what we started at. We started at 70 degrees. So this profoundly affects the core and the nervous system. Try to do this in the first hour of your day for 5 minutes, 30 to 45 seconds on, 10, 15 seconds off until you get to 5 minutes, and then do it the last 20 minutes before you go to bed. And it will have, if you do this for 3-4 weeks, it will have a profound effect on your body. And I'll talk about many other benefits in addition to that. So thanks for trying this. I'm Matthew Fischer with Core Reprogramming.